Good evening, Weebs. Welcome to another episode of For Weebs, that anime podcast. And my name's Liam, wubba dub dub. And tonight I'm joined with
Leah. I can't make Rick and Morty sounds.
I'm
more likely to make a Morty sound.
Yeah, just
Rick.
Oh, geez, Rick.
Yeah. It's not anime listeners, but if you haven't watched Rick and Morty, you're missing out.
I was drinking a can of San Pellegrino earlier, but I kind of wish I'd saved it till now just so I could have, burp talked through the whole episode. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just have a whole episode of Rick and Morty.
The voice actor for Rick is so good, though. I don't know if I could, do it to the same level that he does.
Yeah. I believe it's the same voice actor who does both Rick and Morty.
Okay, I can see.
Yeah.
Especially when he's
talented.
We're gonna get riggedy Rick. Like, bleh.
Let's get riggedy Rick.
Yeah, Rick and Morty, totally an anime, right?
Mm-hmm. Last Rick and Morty thing, though. You know the episode with the big heads? Did you see the one where they have to write a song?
Show me what you've got.
Yeah, someone on my bus route has a giant picture of one of those heads in their window. It's just plastered onto the window. And I was just like,
Nice.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah, they've got some style.
We'll talk about anime.
Yeah, I guess so.
Kind of anime. I guess it's kind of fitting given what we watched this week. So.
Anyways, one of the ones we watched this week is officially an anime, so that's fine. We don't have to follow the heckin' rules all the time, right? So my theme this week was Netflix exclusive animations, and the good anime was one a couple people had mentioned to me. It's technically not anime though, it's an American animation, although on the Wikipedia page it says it's an American anime web television series, so and that's Castlevania. It was it's based off the 1989 video game Castlevania 3, which is Japanese, so that's pretty close, right? And the series follows Trevor Belmont, who defends the nation of Wallachia from Dracula and his minions. Here's a quick little premise. When his wife is burned at the stake after being falsely accused of witchcraft, the vampire count Vlad Dracula Tepes declares all the people of Wallachia will pay with their lives. His army of monsters and demons overruns the country, causing the people to live lives of fear and distrust. To combat this, the disgraced demon hunter Trevor Belmont takes up arms against Dracula's forces. Aided by the magician Sifa Benares and Dracula's son Alucard. And it's only 4 episodes long, so I just watched all 4 because might as well, right? If we have to watch 3 for the podcast, might as well just watch that 4th one. And it was worth it. It was pretty solid. What did you think?
Initially?
Yeah, what are your initial thoughts?
I loved the animation. I loved how, crisp all the lines were. So it, kind of reminded me almost of, when they do the, kind of, visual graphic novels mixed with, actual anime as well. So
yeah,
I really, I liked the animation.
Also like the animation, I felt like a couple times it could have been a bit more fluid, but I realized, it would have been a lot more expensive if the animation was a lot more fluid, so I was pretty happy with it. And
yeah, I do agree with the fluidity comment, but I guess we can get into that more.
Maybe if this one did pretty well, so there'll probably be more obviously the way it ends, there'll probably be more to come after, so maybe we'll see a change in that now that this first little part's proven it. And it was where was I going with this? And it was nice and gory. No, they weren't holding back on the gore at all, so that added to the good animation, especially when those demons.
But what I liked about it too is it wasn't obviously the gore is like a little exaggerated, but it wasn't like completely like someone spewing fountains and fountains of blood. Like it was just like
gore for a demon attack.
Appropriate. Yeah. Exactly.
I also really enjoyed the voice acting. Did you?
Yes. Did you watch the sub or the dub or both?
Oh, I just watched the dub because I did it while I was painting, like I usually do.
Me too. Oh my god. So the main character is voiced by Richard Armitage, which made me so freaking happy.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't recognize the name, that's Thor in Oakenshield, or the sheriff of Rottingham in BBC's Robin Hood. So love him.
Yeah, I'm looking at he's in a lot of stuff. I'm just kind of looking at.
Yeah, he's really good.
So I'm looking at the films he's in. It's like Star Wars Episode 1, Naboo Fighter Pilot, 1999. This Year's Love,
Really?
Smug Man at Party. But he's got a lot more television roles. Oh, he's in Hannibal. That's where I recognize the name from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's just in like a few episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you kind of explained at the beginning. I guess I'm still a little confused. So I know it's like quote unquote like Netflix anime, right? But like the credits, there's English people and there's Japanese. So was this technically made in like for like Japan Netflix? Like was it a co-project between like Japanese Netflix and American?
I'm just looking here. It says well, it looks like this is something that was stuck in development hell for a long time. I'm just trying to find which studio. Well, it's the Japanese names in the credits might have been like crediting the art style of like the original work done.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. You're probably right.
Yeah, I'm just staff members that previously worked on Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. And the production worked closely with Konami. And they helped identify small continuity issues. And it says, 2 seasons have been planned for sure. The second season will be 8 episodes. So that's nice. It looks like it was Powerhouse Animation Studios, I think. Yeah.
Well, they did really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because really, like, animation-wise, like, like sometimes in the fights it would like slow down for a moment, but like not in an awkward way. It just didn't like flow as well as it could have. But when I found like when the characters are standing still, like when Trevor like uses his whip, but he's just standing there, like the whip will move really smooth. It's more like the people's movements that I think kind of slow a bit.
I really enjoyed some of the moves he had with his whip were pretty sweet. Like, there's one where he kind of I mean, it's very unrealistic, but it's based off of video games, so whatever. Yeah. But there's one where he, like, throws his sword, and it's, like, kind of spinning through the air, and then he, like, uses his whip, and it, like, attaches to the sword, and then he, like, whips his sword into a guy. That was pretty awesome. But I was surprised I was surprised at how little action there was kind of in the beginning of the show. Like, I wasn't expecting... I'm not sure what I was expecting because I never played the game. When it started, it kind of starts with the backstory of how like Dracula meets his wife, which I really liked, that whole part. And it's just there for a little bit. And then it shows that like Dracula was actually like kind of living as a human with his wife. But then he finds out that she was burned and stuff, and he goes all like magical vampire lord, and it's pretty epic. And I wasn't expecting that much of a backstory for the villain in this movie or series.
Yeah, me either. Like I definitely was like, because when you read the synopsis, you don't think you're really going to see a whole lot of Dracula, I guess. And then it started off with him, so I was like, oh, like I thought it would be something like you'd see him later. So I really liked the beginning as well, and I actually quite liked like the little bits of humor they would put in.
Yeah,
like they kind of like give you a bit of it when Dracula and his wife first meet, and then they do it a little bit throughout, and it's like actually pretty good. Like they do it tastefully.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciated it.
Yeah, I was like the show didn't have as much action I was expecting, because when people like kind of described it to me and it was Castlevania, it's like, oh, I've heard of that game. I was kind of expecting just like a hack and slash anime, but like there was more interesting like character and like mystery things involved, with like the clashes between the kind of like sage mystic like traveling people in the city, and they're clashing with like the priests, and the priests think because they're heretics that they've brought the demons in. And yeah, it was good. It's very well, it felt that with these kind of properties, it's always hard to tell whether they're like being kind of anti-Christian or not, because, well, I mean, they're technically not being anti-Christian, because Trevor Belmont, like his sword and his whip are like consecrated and like do extra damage against demons, and they use holy water to like fight them back. But then like all the
see, I don't think they're being anti-Christian. I think they're being realistic of what the church was like back in that time.
Yeah, it's like all the depictions of like
the fact that they even
are bad.
Yeah, like the fact that they even have like demons and all that kind of stuff and acknowledge hell means they're also acknowledging God. I mean, they even mention God, so it's not like they're saying, "Oh, it's bullshit." They're just saying,
I guess like they're more just bashing the organized religion, which I see that a lot in kind of like these vampire type shows.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to a guy.
Its chanting was quite real.
Yeah, I was talking with a guy about this, and this is like someone, or he said, it's like, yeah, as someone who's like played this Castlevania game a lot, like the anime was very like a very good watch for a fan of the game, so I thought that was pretty nice.
That's good, because I mean, I've played some of the Castlevania games, but it was one of those games like I never like owned it for myself, so like I would play it at a friend's house, or I think I actually bought myself one once and then I lost it. So it's like I have experience with the gameplay, but I don't know like really the story, so I was only like had slight reference when I was watching it.
The game itself, like it's a fairly old game, and it's just like side-scrolling hack and slash, so there wasn't much story, so this probably has a lot more to it. And so if there's like more, or when more of this Castlevania comes out, I will definitely like gobble it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's only 4 episodes, so it's more like a movie.
Yeah, it's basically like a American OVA series. Yeah, apparently season 2 is going to be 8 episodes. So we'll see. Like,
yeah, that'll be good.
I don't know if that'll be the last one. It'll probably be like just a bunch of dungeon crawling, maybe. This first 4-part one has been like Act 1.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because now that they have Dracula's, it's his son, right?
Yeah, all the card, they like meet him at the end. He's like, he appears briefly at the beginning. He's like trying to convince Dracula not to attack the humans, and then I was like, who is that? Are they going to explain that? And then they did at the end. So that was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to... I feel like I'm missing something that happened that I found enjoyable.
Was it the wizard girl?
I remember someone's fat chin, I think.
Someone's what?
Like, didn't someone have a really, really fat chin? I think it was the Pope or something.
Oh.
And they like kind of animated him really over dramatic, and it was great.
Oh, I don't specifically remember someone with a chin.
Like a big chin.
Now I'm gonna be wondering about that.
Yeah. But yeah, music was good, animation was good.
I think this would be.
The pacing was slow, but in a good way.
It picked up towards the end, though, so.
Yeah.
It wasn't slow enough to get boring.
Yeah, I did greatly enjoy him having the drunken bar fight.
Yeah, I kept expecting him to just like win and like beat the shit out of everybody, but it's like, no, he's kind of drunk. He gets kicked out.
Me too. I was expecting him to like fake being drunk
to
like
right.
get home, beat them up, but then I was like, oh no, he's actually just drunk.
I guess that's a cool way to do the character.
Mm-hmm. Were you surprised when like it's like there's magic in it too?
I was
Like, you know, the
surprised.
girls like
Yeah, I was a little surprised. I was surprised when that what's her name? The speaker girl had like the magic powers, and like, but the way they animate it was pretty cool, so I'm glad they had that in there.
yeah.
And that was kind of like part of just like the third and fourth episode, just picking up a bit, picking up the pace.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say this could be
Yeah, it was
a
cool.
good show for someone who isn't necessarily into a lot of anime, but likes, you know, action shows, and it's definitely like okay
Yeah.
with gore and scary movie type stuff. I think this would be a quick,
Mhm.
short thing, because then you could say like, oh, if you're not sure about anime, maybe watch this. It's like pretty short, so technically not anime, or it could be. Who knows? I mean, it's not like you really have to define it all.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be labeled, and I mean, it's just enjoyable. I agree. Like, you don't have to be an anime watcher. I don't think you frankly really need to be that big of like a cartoon person even. Like, it's just pretty good. If you enjoy like a vampire or, you know, the whole like witchcraft churchy genre, like you'll
Yeah.
like that. Like, you'll like it. It's good. I like that the Cyclops that he fights like underneath in the dungeon is also kind of mixed with like a Gorgon because
Yeah,
he can
or a-
like turn you to stone as well. I thought that was like
yeah,
a
or a basilisk.
interesting. Yeah, a basilisk. Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was enjoyable as
Yeah,
well.
so I think maybe if they go like deeper into Dracula's castle, there'll be more like creepy
Yeah.
crawlies and stuff. It's like playing D&D.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I thought it was. Oh, I really liked when it started raining blood.
Oh yeah, that was classic.
I thought just classic badass. It just like looked really cool. Like the whole thing is just stylized really well, and you definitely get that like demon hell vibe from it, and it's not like cheesy. Like it's sinister and it's great.
Yeah, they hit that aesthetic.
And I love that they're not afraid to show the demons just like killing everyone or eating a baby.
Oh
or,
yeah, the baby part.
you know. Yeah. I was like, was that a? Oh, yep, it was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
So yeah, I'm glad there's going to be more because it definitely leaves you wanting more because like the first 4 episodes are clearly just like the setup
mhm.
of the story. Like that's like they just kind of scratched the background and that's it. So it'll be good to see more.
Well,
Does it say when? Gonna be out?
2018. Let me see if
Ah,
it says planned for a 2018 release.
so that could mean so many things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like even
Cool.
part of that's
That
up
was a
in
good
there.
pick. I enjoyed it. Mhm.
Well, shall we move on?
We shall.
So the
I feel like I have a little more to say about this one.
yeah, the bad anime it been like mentioned to me by a friend Melissa before. And she like I don't know if she's finished it or not. This is another Netflix exclusive anime called Ajin Demi-Human, which is based off a manga. And this one is like an actual anime from a Japanese studio, I'm pretty sure. I kind of picked this one as the bad one, not because like I've heard it's a bad anime, just because I was pretty sure we were not going to enjoy it as much as Castlevania. Probably just because of
So
the
it
fact that
counts.
it's a 3D anime. I don't have a big hate on for 3D animes, but I know that there's
Not as much as I do.
exactly. So here's a synopsis. Oh, and it does have a 7.74 on Netflix. So, mysterious immortal humans known as Ajin first appeared 17 years ago in Africa. Upon their discovery, they were labeled as a threat to mankind, as they might use their powers for evil and were incapable of being destroyed. Since then, whenever an Ajin is found within society, they are to be arrested and taken into custody immediately. Studying hard to become a doctor, Kei Nagai is a high schooler who knows very little about Ajin, only having seen them appear in the news every now and then. Students are taught that these creatures are not considered to be human, but Kei doesn't pay much attention in class. As a result, his perilously little grasp on the subject proves to be completely irrelevant when he survives an accident that was supposed to claim his life, signaling his rebirth as an Ajin and the start of his days of torment. However, as he finds himself alone on the run from the entire world, he soon realizes that more of his species may be a lot closer than he thinks. So,
Dun, dun.
yeah, my initial impressions of this were that it was okay. I guess it just didn't really impress me that much, but I can see why, like Netflix, there's 2 seasons of it on there. It's like maybe for someone who isn't that new into anime, it doesn't really go on like, Kiss Anime or Anime Freak or Crunchyroll. But
when Netflix is like literally their only anime outlet.
If they see, they might see this on Netflix and check it out. And if they haven't seen a lot of other anime, or if they don't really mind it being a 3D animated show, like this could be pretty solid for them, definitely. But I can see how like someone like me or you who watches a lot of anime just wouldn't be very impressed by it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, initially it was hard for me because I was like, CG, grumble. Although I will say, like, it actually it's good CG at least.
Yeah,
like, it's
CG handled well.
I was impressed by it. Yeah, it's well done CG. But the thing with me is it doesn't really matter how well it's done. I just don't find it as like pleasurable to watch, right? But I will say it's got really good CG. The direction I thought was really good. I felt like it definitely gave me more of the like I'm surprised that it's written and done like from Japan, because it really reminded me of like an American style.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I felt like I was watching like a supernatural drama that you'd see on like the CW or something. Like, I know, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I guess so.
That was kind of how it seemed to me, the way they said a few things.
The whole part with like
kind of a really bad example.
The whole part with the main character being like in junior high, and like just it had like those shonen tropes, I guess. So
yeah,
and like of course it was set in Japan, and like the aesthetics of what Japan looked like in the show were like pretty spot on. It definitely looked like, a suburban area, and those mountain roads looked pretty accurate. Because I've been to Japan. Yeah. I'm the ultimate weeb.
Yes, huh?
Right?
But yeah, that was kind of initially what it was. I watched the first episode, and I watched it with my friend Brenna, who I was staying with at her place.
Oh, yeah.
And we were both just like, oh my god, like, this is awful.
Oh,
like,
really?
it's, for one, it's CG, it's really tropey, it's predictable, blah, blah, blah. But then when we got to episode 2, Brenna had left for a bit, and she came back, and she's like, "Oh, like, you still have to watch this?" And I was like, actually, I was like, it's not bad. Like, it definitely gets better, I find, in episode 2. Maybe it's just because you get more used to the style.
Yeah,
I don't know.
What about episode 2 made you feel that way?
I don't know. I think it's because you just start getting into the, like, Ajin a little bit more, and you start seeing that, like, society. Because, like, the first episode is so typical, like, he's a student just trying to fit in, and then he's got the best friend who he obviously dumped because, he's an outcast and whatever. And
yeah, he's like the weirdo.
All that. And then, yeah. So once he gets hit by the car, and then, the next episode follows. Like, some of it I found, like, it did have its corny moments, but it definitely got better for me. Mm-hmm. I don't know about you.
I was like,
end up enjoying it more at all.
Look, I've watched all of Berserk 2016, so this CG was like a walk in the park for me.
That's what I'm saying. You're like, oh.
And I watched like the first 5 episodes of Berserk 2017 before I dropped it. So
yeah.
Yeah.
How many of this did you watch? Just 2?
Yeah, I only watched 2. I was like, I want to watch Castlevania.
Well, I watched Castlevania first.
I saved the good stuff for last.
Oh, well, Um, Oddly enough, I think in the end I ended up watching almost 5 episodes of
Ooh,
Ajin, mainly because I watched the first two and then I don't know, I kind of just left it on because I was playing on my iPad.
right.
And then Brenna started just like legitimately watching it, so we just like kept it on. Like I wasn't like completely enveloped. We were talking and stuff, whatever, but it was on in the background. But it actually gets pretty interesting. It's got some like good characters, good villains. When you see the I don't remember exactly what happens in episode 2, but when you see the like the projection of what an Ajin is,
Right.
basically, like what comes out of the person, it's actually like really badass. It's like a mummy Dementor
Yeah,
kind
I
of thing.
saw a tiny bit of that.
Yeah, so you see more of it, and it's pretty cool, and you get to like see 2 of them fight and stuff
Cool.
like that, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting world. It kind of, I think, I don't know, this might be something where I might want to check out the manga instead of the show. I'm not sure.
Oh, there is a manga?
Yeah, it's based off a manga, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the manga is just
Yeah,
called
I'm more willing to do that.
Because I feel like...
Because the concept is really interesting. Yeah, some of the characters are kind of tropey, and some of it in general is like, you think it's going to be predictable, but there's also a lot of really interesting things too, and the potential villains, I think will be interesting. They're trying to like, hunt him down, but then you also have the agents who are trying to hunt him down, and you're still kind of up on the air on if they're the good guys or the bad guys too. I don't know. Could be interesting.
Could be.
I could also see it going back downhill just as fast as it kind of went up for me. So, I don't know.
So are you going to watch anymore? Just like, because it is one of those Netflix shows you can just, press play and just let it go.
I was going to say, I'm like, maybe, like, if I ever need some background noise, or maybe Brenna will keep watching it. She can tell me what it's like. Oh, also would like to say that I showed Brenna Panty and Stalking, and she, like, pretty much just watched it all in one sitting.
Wow. I still haven't watched any more of that.
It's so funny. It's great.
I'm on, like, episode 9 of Boku no Hero Academia.
Yeah, I gotta go back and watch that. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna watch more of Ajin right now. I got that to
Right.
keep going on.
I also finished. Yeah. Oh yeah, I finished Samurai Jack. I don't know if I told you that.
Nice. No, you didn't.
Yeah, it was.
Was it friggin' amazing?
It was good. It was everything it could have been after like the weird spot Samurai Jack was in for like over a decade. It's like how do you end a show that had like 4 seasons that was just like very episodic and like then being in limbo for so long. But yeah, it was good. And there's episodes that were just like so pretty and so well done. Because like the series is using a lot of like digital techniques now, and like they really use them well. What else did I watch?
Yeah, I really want to go back and keep watching that one too. I've just been too busy this last week to keep going on anything.
I've been watching a lot. I finished Baccano, which I think I told you about, and then I've been catching up on Rick and Morty, obviously.
So good.
And of course, Game of Thrones ended.
You're not watching anymore.
I don't.
You're not watching anymore.
I did think about adding it to my official watch list, just because it is one of those things you can run in the background, but I don't think it would be worth it. Just like I said, like I can get how this might be good for someone who hasn't watched a ton of anime, but it just didn't impress me enough for me to put it on the list.
Yeah, I agree. Like I would say, with how much I ended up watching, like it definitely didn't impress me. I won't give it that. But it also didn't like
turn you off.
Like it did pique my interest at times too.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's worth checking out. Like a person I think will probably know pretty quick if they think it's, if you're like, oh God, no, you'll know. Or you'll be like, this isn't bad. Or maybe you'll love it. I don't know. But yeah. It reminded me, the CG, a lot of like Skyland and like the old Teletoon shows that kind of had that animation. What was the other one?
Like Dragon Booster? No, that wasn't Teletoon, but
No. Erg. I don't remember. Anyway, it's kind of like those CGs.
I never saw Skyland,
whatever.
but because I'm.
Oh, Iron Man Armored Adventures.
Oh.
Which I liked Skyland and Iron Man Armored Adventures, and they were both CG. But it's just weird to me when they try and do an anime as CG. I'm like,
I never heard of these shows before.
What?
I didn't have cable. I couldn't watch the cool shit.
Oh, I guess so. That's right. Yeah. Although Skyland was pretty obscure, so I mean.
Yeah, I would have been really into a show like that. Anyways. So should we wrap things up on Ajin then?
I think so.
Also,
worth someone checking out, but not urgently.
Did you do sub or dub?
I watched the first in sub, and then the rest mostly in dub because it's just easier. And I was just like, who do I recognize here? John and Bosch.
Yeah, a lot.
Todd Habercorn. Whole Funimation cast.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yep. Of course Netflix would do that. So that's why I was actually quite impressed with Castlevania when, like, it wasn't, you know, all your typical anime voice actors. But then again, Castlevania is kind of a different project.
Yeah, different studios.
Yeah. Exactly. So, what about you?
Yeah, just dub. Because I kind of figured this would be a show that wouldn't need my full attention.
Yeah.
I know that sounds bad, but I did, like, give it...
sometimes you just know that.
You know, I did, like, watch the important parts, and then there's some parts where I was, like, just kind of, like, more listening and doing something else.
Yeah, they like to use a lot of, like, voiceover, like, what the main character's thinking, which I don't always like, because sometimes I find it's just kind of useless.
It's good to have a show like that.
They're stating obvious things.
Yeah, I think it's good to have a show like that for when you want just to have it on in the background, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a little tedious. Well, are you going to tell us what spicy adventures you're going to take us on next episode?
I will. Yeah. So, due to sad circumstances, I lost the names of the boob anime. I will find them again. I'll bring the boobs back one day. I'm sorry. And then I was like, had 2 serious animes lined up, and then I was like, I'm gonna have a stressful week. I don't want to do that. So, got 2 animes here, which should be fun. At least the one is anyway. I've seen bits of it, but I'd love to go back, and I never did see the very beginning. So, hopefully you haven't seen it. Good anime. School Rumble.
School Rumble?
School Rumble.
And that's the good one?
It's great. It's the good one. It's got an 8.04 on Mal.
I think I've heard of it, but I haven't seen
genres. It's so good.
Well, I see girls in bikinis.
Comedy, romance, people shonen. Yeah, you do get that. You do. It's kind of more of like a skit anime. Like, there is overarching plot.
Okay.
In the greater scheme of things, but not quite at the same time. So, anyway, synopsis here. Just the words I love you and everything changes. Such is the nature of the bittersweet trials of high school romance. Tenma Tsukamoto, a second year, is on a quest to confess her feelings to the boy she likes, Kenji Harima. The boy she likes, yeah. Kenji Harima, a delinquent with a sizable reputation, is in a similar situation, as he cannot properly convey his feelings to the one he loves. Between school, friends, rivalries, and hobbies, these two will find out that high school romance is no walk in the park, especially as misunderstandings further complicate their plight. Yeah, so it sounds like it should be like a corny romance love triangle, but from like what I remember, it's not. Like, it's pretty like hilarious and like ridiculous. Nice. So it's pretty good.
Sounds like the voice acting will be fun.
Yeah, I don't know what it's gonna be like. I don't know who does the dub. I'm assuming there's a dub. I'm not sure.
On the Mal page, there's like Funimation as one of the licensors, so yeah.
Oh yeah, so very likely. Okay, and the bad anime is called Hitohira. which is drama, romance, school, slice of life. I mean, I don't usually like slice of life or school, but I remember liking School Rumble like years ago, so I'm hoping when I go back I'll be like, okay. Anyway, so for Hirohira, a transfer student, Asai Mugi is a painfully shy girl. She is so shy that she can't speak when she becomes seriously nervous. However, for some reason, she's spotted and recruited as a member of the drama club. So it basically kind of sounds like a ripoff of Haruhi's Suzumiya. It's got a 6.88 on Mal.
Yeah, that's on the lower end.
It is. So that should be interesting. And by that I mean probably painfully boring and stupid, but it's fine. School Rumble should be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Starting our school year, Liam. School Rumble.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh, yeah, good planning.
I just realized that now.
So by the time this comes out, everyone will be feeling that school grind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, well, do you want to...
And then we'll wish that Rumble's what our lives are like.
Can you do the social media plug this time? I think it's your turn.
Oh, God. Let me not say that we have things we don't.
It's not that hard.
All right, you can find us, 4Weebs, on Facebook. We have our My Anime lists below the link on our Podbean page, so you can visit us there, see what we've watched, that kind of thing. Befriend us, you know. We do have a YouTube. If you have not watched the video that Liam posted from his Odafest adventure, you should. You get to see him in a pink bodysuit. Who doesn't like that?
Balls.
Becca swears. It's great. And we're on iTunes, so you can find us there if Podbean is not your preference. And yes, we do not have a Twitter, because I always kept saying that. We don't.
Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, well, talk to y'all weebs next time. Thanks for listening.
Have a good night, listeners.
Bye.